Hey guys, Cobb here, and welcome to part 2 of the heart-based health system, or part 8, I believe. No, 7, for the overall Let's Create Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild series. Before we get started, I wanted to let you all know that my Patreon is now up. I believe I worked for a few days on it. I believe I'm offering some pretty cool tiers. I'd really appreciate it if you guys want to go check it out. It will be in a link in the description. But other than that, enjoy part 2 of the heart-based health system. I did record both these parts at the same time, so I'm just gonna jump right in from where we left off of the second one. We need two new variables, so we'll call this one current health. We'll make that a integer, and max health. So remember, like I said before, each heart has 4 units of health. So that since we're starting out with 3, our current health is 12, and our current max health is 12. Max health will increase every time we get new hearts, and then current health, this is what changes as we get hurt and add more hearts and stuff. So this one's a lot more, will go up and down a lot more. Compile and save. We need to create a function. Let me put all these sprint functions in my sprint category. Same with the macros. There we go, very clean. Oh, and let's make a health category for this. Alright, so functions, and we'll call this modify health. Okay, so this needs a input health amount, so this is how much health we're taking away or adding, because we need it for both. It's basically the same thing, but this one for our actual health amount. So we need to take our current health, and we add these two together. Then we gotta set the current health to this new one. So it's say, we're subtracting 1, we take a current health plus -1 is current health minus 1, so it becomes 11, and then we have 2 3/4 of a heart. But before we do that, you always gotta clamp it. So min is 0 and max will be max health, because this number will change as we get more hearts. Right in there, right in there. Okay. So after the health is modified, we want to get all widgets of class, main HUD, get a copy. Copy will just be 0 because we only have one main HUD, and we're going to update hearts. So every time we gain or lose health, we want the hearts to be updated. And the amount, if you remember, we go back into update hearts, we're taking this amount. So this is where this comes back in handy. So it's like we're subtracting 1, so it's like we take away -1, it turns our health from 12 to 11. We check, it's like, okay, we're removing some, we find the heart to subtract from, we modify the percentage. It goes through this whole system and it takes off 1/4 heart. So that's our current system. So the amount is going to be this same one right here. We can create reroute nodes for clarity. Okay. Alright. So obviously we still don't have anything that changes this health amount, but we will do that. So let's go into our map, content, mechanics, health. We're going to create a quick little actor as a placeholder, and we're going to call this hitbox. Open that up. We're going to add a box collision. I'll just call this box collision. Create a variable. I'm just going to call this box extent. This part's optional, but it's a good habit in my opinion. Vector, construction script, take the box collision, set box extent. This is just so you can change the box size whatever you want, and set that in there. So, and then this gonna have a default of, say, like 96 by 96 by 32. There we go. And now I'll be able to just change that pretty leisurely. So let's go into the event graph. Click on the box collision. This is the actual part about overlapping. That part was completely optional. We want to scroll down on component begin overlap. So when we go inside it, other actor, we're gonna cast to third person character. Oops. As third person character, we are choosing to modify the health, right? And health amount. So we're going to make a variable. It's going to be health to add or subtract integer, and throw it in there. I'm going to make both of these instant editable, and we're going to make the default a subtraction, so a -1. So let's go into the map, take our hitbox. Oh yeah, see, like it's a little small, so now I can just be like, change this, and that just makes it way easier than going in and out and trying to see what size works best for me. So like, so yeah. Okay, so this one we make it -1, so this one will take away 1 unit of health. We will make another, and we'll make this one, so this adds a unit of health. And we want to be able to see these, so click box collision, hit it in game, uncheck that, so we can actually see them. And this is just a placeholder to make sure everything works. So let's jump in for the first time. We have our 3 hearts right there. This one right here in front of us takes away 1 unit of health, and this one adds 1. So we're gonna hit it. As you can see, we've lost a unit of health. Again, 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 again. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then that would, you know, obviously be death, and obviously it doesn't work anymore. So we can also add health, which is great. You know, subtract, add, subtract, subtract. So this works perfectly. Now, last thing we're going to do is we're gonna create a placeholder way to add more hearts. So let's go to the event graph. Let's put input F. So when you hit the F key, we're going to add heart. Where is that? That's not in here. That is in main HUD. So we need to go to UI, main HUD reference that we made in a previous video, add heart. There we go. So when we press that, we want to add a heart. But there's a couple other things we need to do in add heart to, because we'll add the heart, but the health will stay at 12. So we gotta fix that as well. So we need to cast to third person character, get player character. As this, we need to get max health. What we currently have is 12. We need to add 4, because each heart we add adds 4. And then we need to set max health to this number. Okay. And we also want to, you know, when you gain a heart, you also, your health goes all the way back up. So we also want to set our current health to that same number. So set current health to this number. So we, you know, our health goes back to 100%. But then we also have to update the hearts, because as you can see, I can actually show you right now. If we were to just leave it like that, we remove a few, and we're like, and then we gain another heart. Now it's all screwed up. So let's we can just jump into, where was it? Third person character. Nope. Main HUD. After we add current health, we need to do a for each loop, and then each for every single heart. Oops, come on. We need to set the percent to 1. And obviously 1 is 100%. And then we need to also make sure we actually call the modify percentage function so that it does this correctly. All right, and one thing that is important, because you don't want to slip this up, now that add heart actually adds your max health and current health, we want to go to third person character health and set these to 0, because then it'll like be all messed up in the beginning, because now that they're set to 0 and then we add 4 health for each heart, it would like have them doubled in the beginning. So now we're in third person, we have our 3 hearts, we can press F to add hearts, we lose health, lose health, lose health, we can add a heart, and all our health comes back. We can start losing health again, and we can also gain health. Okay guys, so that's gonna wrap it up for this video. There's still a couple things that aren't completely done, such as, okay, so right now we have subtract 1. If we go one at a time, everything works just fine, but say if you want to say subtract 3, it works fine for the first one, but the next one we obviously wanted to take 1 off the this one and then 2 off the rest, but it will just clear the first one and then move on to the next one. Same as if you want to subtract more than an entire heart's worth, it'll just clear the heart and then you'll have to go again to get the next amount. So next video will be about that. I hope you guys learned something, hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next episode.